When you want to create a new object, the runtime needs to do two things for you. First, it finds some unused bytes in memory. That step is called allocation. And second, it actually creates the object, so it can be used in your program. This second step is called initialization. The separation of these two steps opens a few opportunities to make memory use more efficient. The key technique for that is called lazy or deferred initialization. Swift, still being a modern language by today's standards, does quite a few tricks to optimize the initialization process, and lazy initialization plays an important role in it. Here's the key idea. Instead of creating the object directly, you provide instructions how to do that at runtime. These instructions look like a closure and act as a recipe that's used only when needed. If your program doesn't need the object, it doesn't use this recipe, and no resources are wasted. In Swift codebases, you find this pattern used all across the place. There's a few things to keep in mind when using lazy initialization. First, lazy properties are always declared as variables. That's because their values are not retrieved until they're called for the first time, and constants do not allow that. It also means that at any point you can reassign a lazy variable with any other value. Second, computed properties cannot be declared lazy. Though in terms of deferred execution they act just like lazy properties, there's one crucial difference. Computed properties run from scratch every time you call them, while real lazy properties run only once, and then they keep the resulting value. Third, global symbols cannot be declared lazy too, but that's because they're already lazy by default. That makes a lot of sense, because if the app tried to initialize every static property at launch, this would introduce a hefty delay. And one more thing to be aware of, lazily declared properties are not thread-safe out of the box. If multiple threads attempt to access the property, the closure which emits it may be called more than once. That is lazy initialization, one of the easiest tricks to make your app appear faster.